I'm sorry you were deeply invested in Wizard World as a child. I was deeply invested in the American Imperial War Machine as an adult. So much so that I killed for it and will spend the rest of my life trying to make amends. You're not a kid anymore. It's time to grow up. I wish I wasn't sick. This is really funny. These people are like mentally deranged. And I thought it would be funny to read it in my like deep narrator voice. But I'm currently a little sick right now, so it's a little hard to get my voice that deep without hurting my throat. So we're gonna try, and we're gonna try and be funny. Or I can do my Naruto voice. There aren't any. I just know they're not just trustworthy. It sounds really bad because I'm sick. A judgmental stare from the marginalized group isn't a consequence. If people are turned about it, it's because they already know they're wrong and selfish. This is over a video game, by the way. All this drama, all this discourse is all over a video game. These people daily make their lives easier with exploited labor on like the daily fucking basis every time they use Amazon. Every time they use Amazon, they support exploited labor. Every time. Every time. That is a problem with these people because they're like extreme hypocrites. They don't apply their own rules to themselves, and they only apply them to other people. But they will never apply their own logic to themselves. They will never practice what they preach. They are true hypocrites in fashion, and it is very funny watching these people have a mental breakdown because people played a video game. That talk about first world problems. Really, no, I'm not even being like hyperbole here. This is literally first world problems in a nutshell. People playing video games is a problem in 2023. That's, aside from, like actual issues that matter, we're gonna complain about video games today because that's what's really important in the world right now. That's what's the most important thing, no slavery, nothing like that. That's not important. Video games. That's the most important topic right now. Nobody cares about anything else right now. They only care about video games because they're morally righteous. They're morally righteous compared to everybody else. So they only care about video games and nothing else. Either I'm sick or going through puberty again. It's one of those things. Obviously there are people dunking on these people because they're like insane. Like, you really try to compare like people playing video games to like war? That doesn't even correlate. That doesn't make any fucking sense. You just sound like deranged. You literally are. I mean, look at their username. Look at their username. They have a hammer and sickle. They literally are a communist who supports the fucking Soviet Union, where 20 plus million people were killed and murdered. Yet these people want to complain about the ethics of playing a video game. Just realize the irony in that. Realize the irony in the fact that the people who were complaining about this, the most vocal people about this, always have this fucking hammer and sickle in their username, and they support the Soviet Union. Why? Why do you think you're more ethical? You are literally a communist. I don't understand. It's mental. It really is. Like every single time, every fucking time, these people will claim about ethics and how you're unethical for playing a video game or how you don't support human rights. Every single time, they always have the fucking hammer and sickle in their name. It's like Projection 101. They don't care. They are communists. Or at least they're pretending to be. Right? They're LARPing online. But still, like, how you gonna sit here and complain about people's ethics and human rights and shit when you support the Soviet Union? You support Joseph Stalin. He killed like millions of people. I don't understand. It's meant like these people don't understand that like people in the real world don't give a fuck about anything they have to say. Regardless, people are going to still buy the game and they're still going to play it, regardless of what they say or what they pretend to care about. Right? They don't care about real issues. They only insert these issues into their talking points when it's against people or games they do not want people to play. Otherwise, they really don't care. They really, truly do not care about these issues that they cherry pick into their arguments to try to guilt somebody for playing a video game. They don't actually care about these issues. They're only using them to guilt trip others for playing video games. Yet they participate in society. They participate in capitalism. Okay? That fucking stupid meme. Oh man. But it's really funny. I think it's funny. Now this person had like a huge like meltdown over this. Like, actual transforms are delighted at Hogwarts Legacy's success on Twitch, and it is heartbreaking. Transphobic people are taking this as a win. They're taking it as an endorsement. If you contributed to the success of this game, I hope you understand who you've aligned yourself with. It is such hypocrisy. It really is. Plus, I am kind of sick right now, so it's hard to do my voice. It sounds a lot better, but I am sick, and I wanted to make this video before I fall back asleep and pass out. Transphobic people are celebrating with your help. No, you guys, I didn't even know about this game until this whole fucking like boycott. Literally, I had no idea about this game existence. I did not know. I genuinely did not know. But thank you for your boycott. You really helped yourselves there with that one. You brought more attention to the product that you don't want people to play, and people are going to play it now because you brought attention to it. That's amazing. Good job, guys. You really did a good job. Transforms are winning with your help. J.K. Rowling is getting richer with your help. She's already like a billionaire. Who fucking cares? Trans people feel unsafe. Okay, go to third world countries and then come back to me and say you feel unsafe because I'm gonna play the video game. Go to a third world country where women have like the least amount of rights possible, right? And then tell me, come back and, well, you won't come back. You'll be most likely killed like that journalist who wanted to try and prove that these countries are beautiful and they were murdered, right? Because they were told to go to these countries by like, you know, the liberal friends and whatever to prove that it's a beautiful winterland, and they were fucking murdered. People don't forget this. But like, you feel unsafe because somebody plays a video game. Have you actually ever felt unsafe in your entire life? Like, that is the most like privileged statement like ever. You feel unsafe because somebody bought a video game. That's your entire basis right here. But you will never go to a third world country or any country like that where, you know, you will have like the least amount of rights possible. Yet you say you feel unsafe because people play video games. Do you actually live in the real world, or are you just like your brain is like rotted away from political online discourse? Right? It's mental. It really is. You have contributed to this, whether you like it or not. I mean, you can say the same thing about, you know, Amazon. You can say the same thing about buying basically any clothes that's made with like exploited slave labor, but no. Yeah, whether you like it or not, yeah, you can see that could apply to literally anything. Not even just video games. It can apply to anything that you use or buy. Whether you like it or not, in some fashion or form, by proxy, because you use clothes, you wear jewelry, obviously, right? You wear jewelry. Do you know how that's made? Do you know how the clothes you wear are made? What about your makeup? What about the oils you use? What about all... You get my point, the technology they use. There is no ethical way, and even stuff like that slapped with stuff that says made in USA generally doesn't mean fucking nothing, because the materials are still imported from other countries where there is slave labor, like exploited labor, right? They just because it says it was made in USA, where do they get the materials to make said product? There you go. Right? So it really all comes down to that. Okay? And not only that, it's just like, it's just a video game. Like, who cares? They're like actual issues. Like, you have no issues. You're like in the 1%, like most privileged people on the planet. Like, You live in one of, like, probably the most privileged places that you could possibly be, and this is like, you can't expect to be like, say you're against hate and shit like this when you're just using this as a justification to harass people. You want to make yourself feel bigger. You want it fuels your own ego, right? You can't argue with these people because there's nothing to argue with. They are just like NPCs running on copium, okay? If you will. What an interesting way to minimize what is actually happening. Shaming people for playing a video game, or try asking people why they're monetarily supporting a transphobe who has openly said they use their royalty money to fund anti-trans organizations. Do they back this up with any source? No, they don't. But even if they did, it doesn't matter because J.K. Rowling is rolling in dough. She is so rich that the amount of sales that come from this game is probably like minuscule compared to her actual revenue streams, right? And the boycott failed so horribly. It is hilarious how bad this boycott failed. They brought more attention to the product they're trying to boycott. Do they not realize this? They don't realize this. And these people are afraid of good games. Because I have played Hogwarts, like I say, on my own time. Because I don't stream. But if I did stream, I would play. But I don't care. I did actually buy the game. Right? Because, this whole discourse, if you don't stay on Twitter as much as I do, which I don't, I stopped using Twitter almost weekly, which is like, fantastic. My life has like greatly improved since I now I just use Twitter for porn, basically. So yeah, it's just that's just the thing. Like, nobody who doesn't use Twitter cares about this. People were still gonna buy the game regardless, whether these people, the outrage cult, got offended over it or not. People were still gonna buy it, but now because they are offended over it, they made the reach higher. They advertised the game for free. They did it for free. They didn't even get paid to advertise it. Or this is just some whole marketing ploy to get people to buy the game. Right? Negative publicity. It's all stunted. Everything around the game. Right? You know what I mean? Like the fake publicity stunt. Like fake publicity. Like fake negative publicity to try to advertise the game. Right? I mean, I was still gonna buy the game anyways because I knew about it for fucking ever. So obviously I was still gonna buy it regardless of whether this was gonna happen or not. Whether this whole boycott the game was gonna happen, right? This happens like every few years with every new game that gets released because these people have nothing better to do with their lives. So they have to attack people and make up problems in their heads because they live such a cushy life that they actually have to make up issues to feel oppressed, right? They have no real issue. They live in like the most privileged fucking parts of the world where they have the most rights, the most opportunities, the most everything, to the point where they actually have to make up problems in their heads to feel oppressed. There are no real issues for these people. The fact that they are allowed to be, trans, they get these expensive surgeries, right? Like, if you actually look up like the prices for like to get a transfiguration, a body change, or a gender change or whatever you want to call it, it's really expensive. It's not cheap. So you're already really privileged, okay? Just stop. Just stop with this bullshit that you're oppressed. You're not oppressed because people play a video game. Shut the fuck up. You don't know what oppression is because you've never been oppressed. You're arguing about people playing video games on the internet. You have no real problem. Some could say the same about me too as well, because I know that someone's gonna say, "Oh, you're also complaining about video games on the internet." That means, yeah, I am. Like 90% of the people who live in the United States are privileged. Let's be real here. And there's like the 20% who's actually like has problems, and video games is not one of them. Okay, that's kind of the whole point, right? That these people have no problems. That's the problem. The problem is that they have no problems. That's the real issue. And of course, nobody agrees with these people except for like their own outrage cult that they have, because they always do this. These people are actually insane. And over a video game. This is all just and it was also the VTuber Pika I think is her name. She got harassed as well. Here, it auto did it for me because I searched it up earlier. Yeah, she had to end her stream because she was being endlessly harassed by deranged lunatics who think they're morally superior because they don't play a video game. So yeah, that's kind of how this whole thing devolved into. Like, this whole discourse has just turned into an entire, like, nut house, like, genuine nut house. Like, all the crazy people they gave internet access to in the nut house, they gave them internet access because they wanted to do a social experiment to see how they would react. And this is what happens, right? So yeah, it's just like the fact that they're just like harassing streamers too. Like, there was girlfriend reviews who got harassed. I mean, I don't care. Their opinions don't matter to me. Like, they can say whatever the fuck they want to me. I really don't care. So yeah, that it's just really funny. Like, the best thing you can do is just ignore these people at the end of the day and not give them like the light of day, because that gives them power. Like, giving them attention is like the whole purpose, because they get none from the dad, right? That because they lack fatherly attention. They lack that fatherly love, so they go on Twitter and complain about video games all day. That's their whole purpose in existence, is to complain about video games and people playing video games for fun, right? Because 90% of the people who buy Harry Potter, it's because they like Harry Potter. They don't care about J.K. Rowling. They don't care about any of this shit. They really don't. 90% of the people who they're probably like in their like late 30s, 40s, and they're like, oh my god, finally a Harry Potter game that doesn't suck. Yes, right? You know what I mean? No one cares. Like, no one in the real world cares about this. Only they do. That's basically all I want to say about this, and I just thought it was really funny because these people are like actually insane. And yeah, Hogwarts Legacy is the best-selling game on PS5 and Xbox, etc., and so on. I do have problems with the PC version, though. I must admit, there are issues. Some glaring issues, like De Nouveau, for example. If you play on PC right now, it lags a lot. Even on my beastly computer, I would consider it pretty beastly, but it still lags really pretty bad sometimes. It lags so bad. One of the NPCs I walked, he went into the fucking wall and then he fell through the world, and I laughed. So I wish I got it on camera. It was so funny. It was I think it was in Hogsmeade. I was in one of the, like, I think it was the Three Broomsticks or something like that. Not during cutscenes or anything like that. I was just walking around and exploring the area, and I walked into this NPC. He went through like the pillar, the wood pillar, because it lagged, right? The game lagged as it happened, and he went like sideways, and then he fucking fell through the floor, and he's no longer there. He's not there anymore in my world. The NPC is gone. He's just fucking gone. That's how bad the lag is. Yeah. So good job, guys. Your boycott worked. It worked. It made more people buy the game. Congratulations, you did the thing. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed today's short video. I'm gonna stop talking now because my throat's starting to hurt, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.